Hey YouTube, long time no see. Well, it's time for another tobacco review, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at some Carolina Red Flake. Let's get to it. All right, fellas, if you're a fan of the channel, you're probably well aware of what Carolina Red Flake is at this point, but for those who aren't aware, Carolina Red Flake, it is a predominantly Virginia-based tobacco that's grown in the Carolinas and that Cornell and Deal presses into a flake. So let's do our usual where I read you the tin description, I tell you about the tin aroma, I tell you about the cut, I tell you how it packs in a pipe, and then what I think of the smoke itself. So, Carolina Red Flake is part of their small batch series, so the first little bit is about the small batch series. So, let's see here. Cornell and Deal's small batch blends are handcrafted in small quantities by our expert blenders right here in South Carolina. A blend of the finest North Carolina grown red Virginias harvested in 2020, Carolina Red Flake is our tribute to the Old Belt. Plucked straight from Carolina soil, these top-tier Virginias were all grown, threshed, blended, pressed, and then lovingly sliced and tinned right here in the heart of old tobacco country. Sweet, tangy, and spicy, Carolina Red Flake is both surprisingly straightforward and complex. You'll find it's rich, deep, and earthy, with undertones of dried cranberries, orchard grass, and citrus. That's what it says. Sorry, I didn't put on my glasses to read that, and the print is quite small. But there's your tin description of the tobacco itself. So let's dive in and see what our nose smells. Okay, now when I first opened this, I think the predominant aroma that I would characterize this 2022 Carolina Red Flake aroma was hay. And that's really kind of what I smell even now. It's got a very hay-like essence. As you can see, and hopefully the camera captures this, doing this on my brand new iPhone because my other camera decided it didn't want to work. Or I guess I didn't charge the batteries, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. You can see nice flakes, but they are Cornell and Deal flakes. What that means is they're not very good for if you like to do the whole fold and stuff. That's really not going to work for you on these. By and large, I find on the Cornell and Deal, they rub out very easily, but you know, that's the deal. So I primarily got hay, got a little bit of tang, not much sweetness in the aroma, not many of those dark, tangy notes that you might think of when you think of a red Virginia. Maybe some slight hints of citrus, but very, very light. I found the moisture from the tin was very nice. It was made it very easy to rub out, to pack, and to light. But there you go. That's primarily what you get in the tin. Let's talk about the smoke itself. All right, give me a second to light up here, guys. Tonight I am smoking this in a Savinelli Bing's favorite. Let's see, it was one of their series where they had a blue, mouthpiece, blue acrylic mouthpiece. Love it. Rusticated pipe, long stem, makes the tobaccos easy on the tongue. So here's what I would say about this Virginia blend. I can't compare it. I think I've sat out the past couple of years of Carolina Red Flake, if memory serves me correct. They've kind of done some special blends for Carolina Red Flake. They've made it a little bit different, and that's to be expected. You know, if I've listened to a few podcasts. I believe it's the Pipe Magazine's podcast with Brian Levine, where Jeremy Reeves has been on, and he's talked a little bit about how difficult it is when you're dealing with a small batch blend, and you may be buying a very specific lot that you've only got a certain amount of this tobacco that's going to ever be available to you. And from year to year, those lots and those tobaccos are going to change flavor profiles. That each year they really kind of have to do Carolina Red Flake new. That it's kind of a new blend. And if memory serves me correct, don't hold me to this, but I feel like the previous two Carolina Red Flakes, they either had some special perique that was added into it, or something along those lines, that they had some condimental leaf that kind of made that year's Carolina Red Flake unique. I could be completely misremembering that, but that's what my brain tells me. And so I sat out the last couple of years of Carolina Red Flake. I think I have some from 2019 stored back in my cellar somewhere. I'm not sure. But your question is, especially if you bought up a bunch of tins of 2022 Carolina Red Flake, what does it taste like? It's one of the smoothest red Virginia blends I've smoked. It does produce a good amount of smoke. I don't really have to worry about tongue bite all that much. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of tang that you would expect from red Virginias. As you smoke it, it does get richer, fuller. But to me, with this one, there are a lot of bready, grassy hay notes. But it's smooth. And if you pace yourself, I think it's a very good blend. Nothing special. I didn't have a sublime experience like I did the first time I had some of McClellan's 40th anniversary. Oddly enough, the other McClellan's 40th anniversary that I've smoked since then, I haven't had a sublime experience like I did that first time. But I think for Virginia lovers, this is very good. If I'm honest, it reminds me a lot. It's been several years since I've smoked it, but it reminds me a lot of Union Square. Which Union Square is a flake tobacco, all Virginias, and pretty much not messed with. There's probably some sugar water casing on it, but no top note. Overall, a good blend. Well, guys, that's been my review of 2022 Carolina Red Flake. Talk at you later, baby.